Oh, wow. Look at this. This video is just dreadful, huh? Well, oh well. So I am currently at my father's house, and I was supposed to do Monster Monday tonight, but we got snowed in. So the only option I have here is I still have my mic from when I live streamed on Lee's channel, and I'm going off of my camera off my laptop, which you can see is terrible. So, but that's what I have to work with tonight. So, this is what I'm working with. Anyway, otherwise, I wasn't doing Monster Monday. And I was like, well, fuck it. Not going to do it. Hey, David, and hey, Stan. So, let's get into the movie really quick before everyone starts, chatting and getting questions in and whatnot. So, now, when we think of Godzilla, especially like the original Godzillas, the fucking 100 of them that they made. Hey, Peter. Um, they made like 20 something of these at least. I have seen none. I've seen like parts of maybe 5 or 6 of them. But every time I watch them, I'm just like, this just does not seem like something that I'm going to have fun with. Now, I've seen the newer ones. I've seen the 2014, I want to say, one, of course, because it has Elizabeth Olsen in it. I definitely had to go see that, but it just looked like it was going to be a fun time. And then I saw the Matthew Broderick one. Holy shit, that was fucking terrible. I saw that in theaters, which I want to say that came out in like 98. And then I saw Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I thought was pretty terrible. And of course, with the trailer drop of Godzilla versus Kong or whatever the title is, I was like, you know what? I haven't seen the original completely. I think I might have watched it once, but I don't remember anything about it. So I just had to check this fucking movie out. Hi, Christy, and hello, Peter. I think I said Peter. You don't get 2 highs, Peter. Never mind. Take that back. But no, okay. So now this first one was a Toho movie, which I know that like that's kind of like a genre of Godzilla films, right? Is like the Toho Godzilla films, and then there's other companies that came in later. Honestly, I'm not the aficionado. One of my friends seems to be like the aficionado of the people that I know. How is King Kong going to beat Godzilla? Godzilla's got laser breath and shitloads of radiation. Yeah, dude, I don't know. The whole like versus thing is not really something that I'm all that interested in. I never am the guy that's like interested in, Jason versus Freddy. I mean, back then I kind of was, but everyone's always like, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see versus each other? Nobody. Nobody. That just never sounds interesting to me. These big horror villains going up against one another. Another reason is because you know that they're never going to have a victor. There's never going to be somebody who wins this. Whether it's Freddy versus Jason or, Puppet Master versus demonic dolls or fucking, King Kong versus Godzilla. It's always going to be like a draw, or they're going to like weasel their way out. They're not going to just like, there's zero chance that Godzilla kills and wins the fight between like King Kong or vice versa. This is just a zero chance of that happening. I would love it if it did, but it's just not going to happen. So anyway, hey Cinema, and hey Thomas, Thompson, last names for some reason, Charles. Now, this has a 7.6 on IMDb, which I find interesting because this movie is attached to a property that most people shit on. Most people, when they talk about this, are just kind of like, that's a lame franchise. It's like parodied at this point, like the big parody, of course, being the voice that doesn't match because of the dubbing. So people always mock and they always do that thing where they talk and the mouth doesn't match up with it. That's the Godzilla films. That's always what people talk about with those films. But to think that the original one is like a 7.6 and that it has a 78 Metacritic and that it's a Criterion Collection film is pretty interesting to me because of how like silly the rest of the franchise is kind of thought of as. But I love the iconic scream or roar or whatever you want to call what Godzilla does in this movie, like the opening credits when it's just like, you know, doing that Godzilla scream is pretty eerie. It's actually a great sound. So I really like that about it. Now, of course, this is 1954 Japanese film, and it is in black and white, and it is in that full frame aspect ratio, which is, you know, I don't like. I know there was widescreen back then, of course. I'm curious on why this was more, you know, like what, like 4:3 aspect ratio. Like, why is this more boxed? I don't understand that, but whatever. And let's see. Wait, there are survivors. Okay, so there's all these people that are like waiting to see if there's survivors of the first of like that attack. And then they get word that there's 3 survivors, but then those 3 survivors are killed. That's a really rough scene. Like, imagine waiting for your loved ones and then finding out that 3 people aboard the ship where your loved one was aboard, everyone was killed but 3. Then you're waiting on which 3 survived, and then you find out that the rescue boat that picked up those 3 were all killed. that's really twisted. That's really, really twisted. But then there's a bunch of people who like wash up on shore of this island. And then I kind of got confused on how many of those people were from the ships that were actually out there and how they made it back. And I don't know. But of course, I mean, this film is, you know, kind of infamous for its sets and for the cars and the planes and everything being like toy model stuff. And it's so obviously toys. It's so obviously like a model city. It's really funny. But back then, I mean, what else were they going to do? So it makes perfect sense, but it's just, I think we've become so spoiled and so accustomed to the CGI and to these huge spectacles on film that we forget that this is what it used to be. It used to be literally a guy in a fucking rubber suit knocking over toy trains. And everyone was like, whoa, wow. And all this composite work, which for the time is really impressive stuff. Look how bright this light is. That's why I have to cover it like with my finger. Isn't that fucking crazy? Such a bright light. Bright light. And I thought it was interesting that Godzilla is kind of already an established name from people that are out there. Like, they're like, oh, it's, you know, it's probably Godzilla, this and that. It's kind of already an established maybe demon or reckoning that's coming for people. So it's not like Godzilla appears and then they come up with a name for it. It's kind of already almost like part of their folklore. I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't think that's how that would be. I would think that they would name him in the movie, but they don't, which is neat. The music, I really like the music. I think that the score in this is very memorable. And I think that it would be cool to hear it. In fact, I'd now be listening for it. I'd be listening for it in any film with Godzilla in it from now on. Like, I'll look for it in King Kong Godzilla movie, or maybe in the other ones. Maybe it's, you know, sampled there and there's like an homage to this, but I didn't recognize any of it anyway. And then, so the research team is sent out and a bunch of people are like holding ribbons with the people that are in the ship. I'm assuming this is like to keep a connection with them until the last moment. And how did they even get those ribbons across? Do they like throw them across? Like, everyone holds a ribbon and they throw it across to the person who's waiting on the shore. That just seems like it'd be very complicated. Like, how does that even work? Or I guess, oh, they probably already have the ribbons like across the boat to the dock, and then everyone just starts grabbing one with their partner across. I don't know what like the point of that is. As I said, to keep a connection with them as long as they possibly can. So it feels like they're still with them until the spool runs out. I don't understand uh, this tradition. I've never seen it otherwise outside of this film, but anybody familiar with that? There's people on a boat. They're holding like strings on a spool, and that is like connected to somebody who's holding it on the shore, and they just like keep holding it until they like get out, and then I guess the string runs out. I don't know. That was an interesting little little thing there. I've never seen that before. I don't know if this is a tradition that Japanese people hold, or maybe old sailors held, or I don't know. I don't got it. And then we're introduced to our one of our main characters. I don't remember what her name was. She's a very attractive woman. But it kind of revolves around her father, her want-to-be fiance, and a one-eyed scientist that she knows that's working on something that he won't tell anyone about, but she knows and promises him she won't tell. Godzilla is confirmed to be 165 feet tall in this movie. I feel like he gets bigger and bigger as the series goes on and as different iterations of him appear. So I don't know how tall he's supposed to be in the Gareth Evans 2014 film, but he seems to be much bigger than 165 feet. 16 stories. He looks like he's 50 stories in the Evans version, but I don't know. I'd have to look up the specifics on how tall. Someone should Google that while we're here. How tall is Godzilla in the following films in the franchise? Does it fluctuate? Does it stay pretty much the same? I have no idea. And so this film is essentially just kind of like, I don't know, like a warning, I guess, or like a kind of a social commentary on Japan being the country that had 2 nuclear bombs dropped on it during World War II, and kind of the repercussions of that. They go out there and they're testing these H bombs, and this destroys Godzilla's habitat, releases him onto the earth. And at the end of the movie, when he's defeated, it's kind of like, if we continue to do this, we may suffer the wrath of another Godzilla. We might have another Godzilla come at us. So, hey, Francis Gremp, don't ever call me that. And I'll get to questions later. I'm grooving. And then I like that they mentioned the Cretaceous period, because my kids and I just watched all of Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous season 2 today. So I happened to hear those, that time period twice in a day. Cretaceous. Don't hear that word often, but twice today I heard it. And I like that. Yeah, I like that Godzilla is like filled with radiation. He brings radiation with him wherever he goes. So even if you survive him, he's still probably giving you cancer. Godzilla was apparently 393 feet tall. And isn't that what I said? 400? Didn't I say about when I did 40 stories? 400? I swear I said like 400. Am I crazy on that? That's crazy if that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back, or someone can confirm that. And let's see. You ever watch the show Dinosaurs? Yeah, I remember that show. Not the baby, not the mama, not the mama, knock the mama. What does he say when he hits? I think it's knock the mama. But there you go. 983 feet, 2017. That's the Godzilla versus or King of the Monsters movie? No, that's not 2017. That was 2018. I don't know. That's ridiculous, though. I mean, Godzilla versus King Kong. How fucking big? King Kong is not 1,000 feet tall, so whatever. Anyway, let's hide. Oh yeah, I like how they all, they're having deliberations and they're having debates over whether or not they should tell the public. And of course, some are arguing that they can't because of the foreign affairs issues that it's going to create, that they're not going to be, um, you know, that they're going to have issues with other countries and that it's going to massively affect their economy. And of course, people point out, like, you can't hide this. Like, this is impossible. So, like, what are you doing? So, but they did ultimately decide to actually release it to the public instead of keep it, secret, which I think is kind of stupid because it's like, how the hell are you going to hide a 165-foot radiated monster that's knocking down your town? Like, to me, that's just, I don't think they need to even debate whether or not to tell this. Like, it's coming out. It's coming out. So, interesting though, that he just keeps attacking Japan. It's like, there's other places, man. Good thing he didn't get into the mainland and really start wreaking havoc. But it's as I said, it's kind of like a metaphor for the destruction of a nuclear bomb in their city. So, I mean, I get it, but he could have went other places. So they decide to dig a moat and build an electric fence. Make Japan great again, I guess. How they could have got this done so fast. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? They have all these like electrical towers like set up across electrical fence. They just they built this around the entirety of Japan, and there was like someone sitting there ready to just like throw the switch. This is fucking ludicrous. This is just such a ludicrous scene. How the fuck could they possibly build that so fast? So whatever. And so the dad of the main girl here is like really pissed off because he's like, they're trying to kill Godzilla and we should study him. We should study him. How are you going to study him exactly? You're going to like jump up on his back and take samples? Like, he's like, oh, don't kill him. Don't kill him. We have to study him. Study what? Study him tearing the city apart? Study him urinating? Like, what exactly is the study going to consist of? I was very, very confused about this scene. He's like so upset, he even like throws his daughter's boyfriend out of the house because he's like, you want to kill him too, get out. And it's like, this dude's doing like this fucking monster's killing everybody. So like, even if you see it as like an endangered species, or I mean, go up and cut a piece of him off. He's a 165-foot monster that's literally killing everything in his path. So there's no way. They can't capture him. They can't. What's the point? Like, what exactly? Like, maybe bring a plan with you. Like, hey, we need to capture him, and here's how, and this is a foolproof plan, and let's go with it. They built electrical fences around the entirety of Japan, and that didn't stop him for a second. So you're just gonna what? What's your next step here, buddy? They just that argument stupid. He's like, I want to study him, and it's like, okay, go ahead, go around it. He's not dead yet. Go ahead, go run out there and study him. It's gonna take us a while to kill him, so you got time. You got time. It's about how we can kill him at the moment. It's not that we have the ability to kill him and we're killing him. It's we're trying everything in our power and we can't do it. So go right the fuck ahead and study him, buddy. Go right the fuck ahead. Anyway. And I like that he's like glowing. From the radiation, and that his fire breath, because this is black and white, it's like clearish white. I guess that's supposed to be fire, or is it radiation that he's blowing out of his mouth? Like, is it just like a concentrated direct line of radiation, and when it hits something, it just erupts in flames because of the level of radiation that's in it? I think that would be kind of cool. I think that would be kind of cool if that's what it is. I don't know. I know that in the Gareth Evans and the more modern one, it's like a blue light. And I don't know. Is it like concentrated radiation? That would make sense to me. Not just flames. Flames would be stupid. That'd be more like a dragon. I like the idea that he's just shooting radiation out of his mouth. Although that whole city would be uninhabitable. If he did that, it'd be like fucking Chernobyl. It'd be like, you know, oh, now I'm blanking on the name. Pripyat. 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 Is that how you say it? The town that was next to Chernobyl. You can't hear me? Everyone else seems to be able to hear me. All of a sudden, you can't hear me? Can everybody else hear me? Can I get confirmation before I go on? Okay. I don't know what's wrong with yours, Charles, but everyone else is saying they can. Okay, anyway. And then, yeah, more toy cars and trains. The composite work is really good for this era. I mean, very good. And oh, there's a really, really sad scene here. But there's this like, it's almost like it kind of reminds me of Titanic, which is like one of the saddest scenes in that movie is when the woman who actually is the chick from like all of Cameron's movies. She's the real like badass chick in Aliens, and she's the stepmom of John Connor in T2. Anyway, she's like down below decks with her kids because she knows they're gonna die, right? And she's like reading them this bedtime story, putting them to sleep. Could you imagine trying to do that? Like you don't want your kids to be scared, so you like read them a bedtime story knowing that they're never waking up and that you have to just sit in there with them and drown. That's seriously one of the fucking saddest scenes I've ever watched in any film ever. But yeah, anyway, this kind of reminds me of that, where this woman is like cradling her two kids, or however many kids, and she's just telling them like, we're gonna be with dad soon. We're gonna be with dad soon. Like her dad's dead. And I'm just like, oh my God, it was gut wrenching for a film like this. I don't know. I wasn't expecting anything like that emotional. I just looked at this woman telling her kids that they're going to die, but it's like, okay, because they're going to be with dad. I'm like, damn. I mean, that's, you know, that makes Godzilla very villainous. Very villainous. I think that I don't know how much like I is type Godzilla films, but I feel like America is trying to make Godzilla more like in the Gareth Evans ones, he's very much like the hero. And same thing with like King of the Monsters, he's there to save them. In this movie, he's a fucking piece of shit. he is the villain, hands down. Like there's no question of that in this. He's a monster. Plain and simple. There's no like he's coming to rescue us. He's coming to save the day. It's just no, he's a piece of shit. A very large piece of shit, but a piece of shit nonetheless. And it also looks like his back glows every time before he fires the radiation stream or the fire stream or whatever. I don't know if that's coincidentally how I saw it and it's not like that, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Kind of reminds me in The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, or even in The Battle of the Five Armies, that every time that like Smaug is about to, breathe fire, there's this like illumination of fire underneath his chest that you can see it like welling up inside of him, and then he like exhales it. I think that'd be kind of cool if it's like his, what are those on his back? Tendrils or whatever the fuck they are. Fins light up right before he was to exhale. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Wishmaster is greater than Wonder Woman 84. Dude, yeah, for sure. I was not a fan of Wonder Woman 1984, as you guys know. And then there's a scene where a reporter is like up in a observation tower and he reports his own death. It's a really kind of weird, interesting scene. He's like, he's like, he's like, basically he's just sitting up there and he's like, look at the power. Oh my God, look. And this is my last, this will be my last announcement. This will be my last broadcast because basically I'm going to die now. Like, and then he's just like, oh, like he's in awe of him. He's not like scared. It's like this reporter is like, he almost feels honored to be being killed by him, and he's in such awe of this monster that he's like, oh my God, here I go, I'm gonna die now. Like, it's been it's been great reporting for you guys, but c'est la vie. Like, it's a really interesting scene. I don't think I've seen one quite like it. I don't think I've ever seen like a journalist or like somebody like that, like out there about to die, and they're like, all right, well, signing off. it's been a good ride with you guys. It was, yeah, but as I said, he kind of just comes at it from like a genuine moment of awe. Like, I can't believe what I'm viewing. I'm so like awestruck that I can't help but just report that, and I know I'm gonna die. That's just it's just crazy to me. And then and then another really, really interesting, super stupid scene to me is a bunch of fighter jets come in to attack Godzilla. And this scene must go on for 2 to 3 straight minutes of fighter jets flying past Godzilla, firing missiles at him, and it just keeps doing it, keeps doing it, keeps doing it, keeps doing it, keeps doing it. I mean, no exaggeration. They must fire 60, 70 fucking missiles at him from 40 different ships. And every single one of them misses him. Every one of them never hits his suit. Never is there like a flash anywhere on his body. They just go right past him 100% of the time. And then all the people on the streets are like, look, Godzilla's like, he's running away. They did it. They did what? They fired 60 warning shots at him. Like, we're getting real serious, man. If you knock down 10 more buildings, we're definitely going to shoot at you next time. Like, I was so confused. I was so confused. Why did every single one of them hit him? They couldn't put something in the suit to make it look like it was hitting his body. Were there stormtroopers in there? Like, I just kept waiting for one to hit him, and I'm like, are they seriously every single one going to miss him? Every single fucking missile? I don't get it. Why would they not all hit his body? He's such a huge target. How could you possibly miss? How could you possibly miss Godzilla? You know how you have that saying of like, you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn? You couldn't hit the broadside of Godzilla. Okay, that's my new saying. It's just like, he couldn't be bigger. He could not be bigger. I guess he could be. He could be 400 feet tall or not 1,000 feet tall. But 165 foot, probably, 50 foot wide target. And they can't hit a single fucking shot. Ridiculous. Anyways, so then we find out what this scientist has been up to. And this scientist has been making an oxygen destroyer, which an oxygen destroyer, this is used in something else. It might be the Godzilla King of the Monsters movie. Is that what they're using in that movie? I so hated that movie, but I swear an oxygen destroyer has been in something else. And no, I'm not thinking of Batman Begins. That's a different kind of thing. That evaporates the water. It's different. It's actually the exact opposite. This one, an oxygen destroyer. I swear to God, that's the King of the Monsters movie uses this again. Whatever. Anyway, so he uses it on some fish, and the fish like turn to bones, and she like screams and does that like 1930s like woman that's like hysterical and turns around and faints like, ah. just because she saw some fish melt. Seems really cruel to do to the fish, you know? Like, that just, to me, is like, what are you doing? Like, couldn't you have shown her on some like plastic stuff? I don't know. It just seems really mean spirited. Um, but also like him using, I guess they don't have any choice, right? But to use that, but the amount of damage that would do to their entire like coastline, the fish, everything that would be killed instantly from doing that. Now, the boats on top of the water, would they not suffer damage as well? Wouldn't like the whole of the ship be like melted from underneath? I I don't know. And then the guy ends up, because he doesn't want to do this, right? He doesn't want anyone to know about his technology because he's afraid that they've already been hit by nuclear bombs. So he's not going to be the next Oppenheimer. He doesn't want to be the bringer of death. He sees this as Armageddon if he lets his technology out there. That's why he has kept it. Now, why he shows the girl, who fucking knows? He's trying to get laid. He's like, look, baby, I can kill fish. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is there to show the girl if he wants to keep it secret. This makes zero sense to me. I have no idea why he would show her that. I got nothing. He's like, no one can ever know except for you. The biggest, the biggest mouth I know. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But it's convenient to the plot, right? So he tells her. I'm going with Crush. I'm going with Crush. So yeah, as Jacob says here, fish murdered, panties off. Yes, that's what gets girls wet. Some fish. Fish murder. Fish murder. Kill a fish in front of a woman and she'll fuck you for sure. You heard it here first. I guess her screams and her fainting is like she understands the implications of what she just saw, like how devastating that technology could be. That's what I got. But yeah, he's like, no way, no way, no way. This will kill the world. And then he sees like some clever editing on television of some sad sacks, and he's like, all right, fuck it. Let's go. That shows you the power of video journalism. You can really change some people's minds with some clever editing techniques. So he burns his notes and intends to kill himself because he's got Armageddon up here in the head. And so he goes down there, and the chick's boyfriend decides, like, you can't go down there alone. You're not an experienced diver. I have to go with you. And he's very hoity-toity about it. He's very adamant about it. And then so they both jump down together. The guy does literally nothing to help at all in any way, shape, or form. And then he immediately ascends and leaves the guy back down there to handle it on his own. But then the guy does it, and he purposely kills himself because he wants to take the knowledge with him of the oxygen destroyer, which everyone knew was what his plan was. But I just found it very funny that they go down together, and he's like, you got to let me go. How could you possibly do this without me? They literally sink to the fucking ocean floor. As soon as they hit, the other guy's like, all right, I'm going back up. You got down here. It's like, thanks for showing me how gravity works. I couldn't have done it without you. I got nothing on this one either. Like, his experience on what? This movie has so many stupid things in it, but it is what it is. But then, yeah, the warning at the end of this movie is, if we keep nuclear testing, then we may see another Godzilla. This is probably their message to America. Like, hey, please don't nuke us again. This is like really bad. It's real bad. Okay. So don't do that again. And that's it. That's the end of Godzilla. When I had started this movie, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll check out more. Maybe I'll do, maybe a Godzilla film a month or something. And the problem with movies like this, the problem with Godzilla and Godzilla versus King Kong and all these kinds of movies is like, what can the plot line really be? Like, really think about it. I've been writing scripts for a long time. I haven't done one in a little while, but I really have the desire to get back into it, like really bad lately. So I'll probably start doing that again. But I sit down every once in a while and I try to think of like what the fuck could be a plot line for Godzilla. Like, how do you make an interesting film centered around a 200, 400, 800 foot monster smashing through a city? Like, what does that even like do? Like, what do you do with that plot? What can you even do? And ever having watched this, having watched the Gareth Evans one, having watched the Matthew Broderick one, having watched the King of the Monsters one, the answer is not much. Even with all the budget, even with as much as they have, there's not really anything that, like, think about Gareth Evans one that he made in 2014. It's got a great cast. It's got Bryan Cranston. It's got Elizabeth Olsen. It's got, what the fuck is that kid's name? I really like him. Aaron something. Aaron Taylor, something like that. I'm like in my head, I'm like, Anya Taylor-Joy? Fuck, I don't know. But I really like that guy. He was just in the movie I watched tonight, Tenet. I watched that in theaters, and then I watched it with my father tonight, and my dad was sitting there like, what the fuck is going on? It's pretty funny. Aaron Johnson. Is that it? Aaron Johnson? Doesn't it? I thought it was like a three name. No? No, whatever. But yeah, I really like that guy. He's really great in is it Nocturnal Animals with Jake Gyllenhaal? He's fucking fantastic in that. I really like that kid. But look at that movie. Look at the Aaron Taylor Johnson. Thank you. I knew he fucking had it. Anyway. But really, like, think about that movie. Like, what is it about? And King of the Monsters, fucking forget it. There's no plot line to that movie at all. And whatever plot they try to inject in it is completely moronic. And I will fucking sit here and bash that shit all day. I should do that for a Monster Monday, but I can't sit through it again. But I was sitting in theaters like, are you fucking with me? But then at the end of the movie, I was sitting there like, I don't know what else the plot could be. I don't know what else to do with it. I mean, maybe someone smarter than me, which isn't really that fucking hard, but someone smarter than me could come around and write some amazing storyline for a Godzilla film, but I just genuinely don't understand like what you can do with it. So someone can, come up with something cool, awesome. I'll be there. But I mean, look at King Kong versus Godzilla or whatever the fuck it's called. Godzilla versus Kong. Is that what they're calling it? I watched that trailer and I look at it and I'm like, yeah, okay. Exactly what I thought it was going to be. Now, what is this? King Kong has some like little kid he's bonded with. Is this supposed to be like kind of like what he has going on with the chick in the other King Kong movies, the 30s one, the 70s one, and the Peter Jackson one. Now what's interesting is that I actually really I love Peter Jackson's King Kong, and I actually really like the was it Faye Dunaway or no, who's the chick in that? Not Faye Dunaway, is it Jeff Bridges? Who's the chick in that one? It's been a long fucking time since I've seen that one. But yeah, that's I like that one too. So I think that storyline works just because it's kind of like these guys going over to this island and then they find out about the monster and then they're trying to get off the island and then he's brought in, like, the story. There's a story there. But with Godzilla, I just don't know. Fay Ray, I know her from the 30s version. But I don't know. What do you guys got? Anybody got? Leave me in the comments either here or after somebody watches this. Tell me a story that you could come up with for a Godzilla film. I'd be really curious on what you guys got. I got nothing. Jessica Lang, thank you. Okay, that makes sense. So, all right, let me look at why didn't the Japanese kid hide in the refrigerator when they got nuked? Very funny. Very funny. I rewatched Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull pretty recently just to kind of see, like, maybe, because at the end of the day, people are like, oh, the nuke the fridge scene. It's so ridiculous. And I'm sitting there like, have you not seen the rest of the fucking franchise? Like, did you not see Temple of Doom? Did you not see them like survive falling out of a plane with a blow up raft and then falling off of a cliff or like a waterfall, like 3,000 feet. That's just as absurd to me. That's just as absurd to me. So I went back into it going, maybe it's not as bad. Maybe it's not as bad. It's not very good. I really went in trying to like it, and I didn't come out liking it very much. So I don't have a lot of hope for the fifth one, but we'll see. All right, I'm looking back through. Thoughts on Possession 1981 asks Stranger in the Alps. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I'm familiar with the cover though. I've seen the cover a million times, but I've never seen the movie. Zero Tissue? There's I don't know how the fuck to say this name. Any new good horror movies to recommend? Psycho Goreman. It's fun as shit, man. Super fun. If you like ridiculously silly horror. Godzilla, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. You ever watched the show Dinosaurs? That was okay. I answered this kind of, but I watched it a decent amount when I was a kid. Not a lot, but an episode here and there. It was fun. I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last episode of that show, it's really dark. It's really fucking dark. If I remember correctly, the last episode of that dinosaur show, when they knew it was going to be the end of the show, it's them witnessing like a meteor hitting the earth and killing the dinosaurs, right? I'm pretty sure that I'm correct on that. I remember watching that and being like, damn, everyone dies. Like, it makes sense, but that's fucking brutal. You crazy, sexy horror man. Wow, Stranger in the Alps. Thank you. A lot of responses to things I was saying along the lines here. Hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Thank you, guys. Chiefs versus Tampa Bay. Who you guys got? No. Go with Tampa Bay. Brady is just fucking Mr. Miracle, so it's hard to beat that guy, right? I know a lot of people hate him, but he wins. You can't fucking deny that. The guy has like twice as many playoff victories as any other quarterback in the history of the game. Twice as many. It's insane. And people will go, it's because he cheats. Whatever he does, he's winning. Not saying anything else about the matter. I don't need to get into some football fight. I saw a video. Oh, yeah. I saw a video of a journalist who did that before he was executed. Dedication indeed. Oh, wow, Jacob. That is dedication. Holy shit. I don't want to see that video. I was going to say, what is it? I don't want to see it. Fuck that. I don't want to watch some guy die in real life. Sounds terrible. Let's see. Wonder Woman. Hi, Jason. Greetings from the Netherlands. I am going to work now because it's 7 a.m. over here. For sure, I will watch your stream later today. Good night, George. Thanks, George. Netherlands. I thought you guys had like 6 weeks off paid vacation. Take some, man. Take some and watch my channel. If I was Godzilla, I would stay on the ocean floor since everybody is going woke on land. Fish murder. Blah blah blah. I had a dream the other night that we got nuked. Pretty damn scary. I have had dreams like that. I've had dreams. I had a dream like that once. I remember that. I went outside. I was on the front porch and I just watched a nuke coming down, knowing it was. And I watched it hit and I watched the light and then I saw it coming towards me. And I just remember like, this is it. This is my death. It was fucking terrifying. It was definitely terrifying. Stop fucking killing us. Please just stop doing it. I don't know what that's in reference to. Why didn't the Japanese just hide in? Oh, we already read that one. A couple of episodes. Are you going to be reviewing that new film with Denzel Washington? Absolutely. The Little Things, isn't that what it's called? Definitely. Plot idea: Godzilla gets depressed and just eats fishermen and cries in the bottom of the ocean. Maybe that's why the ocean is wet. Why is there so much water? It's just Godzilla's tears from being just so fucking sad. Um, the movie is called The Little Things. Oh, there we go. I already got confirmation. Are you a sports guy, Jason? I basically only watch MMA. Um, I was a diehard Phoenix Suns fan for years. I literally watched every single game, all 82 games of the regular season, every playoff game that they would go to. Steve Nash actually is what got me really, really into it. So every year that Steve Nash was there and they made it to the Western Conference Finals against the Dallas Mavericks and all of that, I was so diehard, man. You couldn't find a more diehard fan than myself of the Suns. And then I got pretty into the Cardinals as well. I was very much there for their 2008 run to the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner. So yeah, I mean, definitely watch some, but I'm not super into it. I just had my teams and I would watch, but then I got very annoyed and was just like, these guys are never going to fucking win. I'm over it. So I just kind of lost it. My kids really did it more than anything, because once you have kids, you really have to decide where your time is going to be spent. And if it was like between movies and sports, movies all day. So I picked movies over sports, and I'll watch the Cardinals with my dad every Sunday when they're on, of course, because it's like our thing. But outside of that, I don't watch the Suns anymore. But if they had a great team, if they had like a killer fucking team, I'd probably watch some more games. Yeah, because I was diehard. Holy fuck, was I ever. Let's see. A lot of Conor McGregor talk here. I don't really care for fighting at all. I don't like watching people beat each other up and giving each other brain damage. It bums me out, to be completely honest. I just don't like it. It's funny how much I love violence and brutality in films, but in real life, not at all. Jason, have you ever done a full movie collection video? Kind of. I did it years ago, so my collection was definitely smaller than it is now. But if you type in Sinister Cinema Reviews, a tour of my garage, you'll see my Blu-rays, DVDs. You'll see a lot of my collection of like figurines and horror memorabilia. You'll see my Star Wars collection. You'll see my VHS collection. You'll see all my posters that I have up that I used to have in the garage once upon a time. So that video does exist. And they created Zilla as a message to stop nuking and killing them. Hey, Jacob's with me on that one. Coming to America is back. Yes. Coming to America 2. That comes out in March, right? March or April, somewhere pretty close. And when are we going to get a Sinister Cinemas OnlyFans? Right fucking now. Just kidding. How about a group of kids talk about an urban legend about a secret society that discovered a giant lizard or ape and have been doing tests on it? The kids set out on an adventure to find out if it's true. They discover it's true and try to release the giant ape from the secret society, kind of like Goonies meets King Kong. Is this your idea for King Kong versus Godzilla? I mean, it's probably better than what they got. So it's the best one I've seen so far. It's the only one I've seen so far, but it's the best one too. Just started 30 coins. Alana is quite the looker, my friend. You have said an understatement. She is beyond a looker. She is fucking perfection. She's out of control good looking. Have I ever seen Dancer in the Dark? Yes, I have. I think you know that I have, and you're just trying to depress me. You want to make me Godzilla crying in the ocean now? The fucking movie. Most depressing ending I think I've ever seen in my life. I was just about to say that, LOL. I thought you would like fighting because of the violence. Yeah, no. That's funny. Did you check out anything for Jackson? Yes, I did, and I reviewed it on the channel. It's a great film for sure. No, it's just a general idea. Okay. Jason, what's your favorite Denzel movie? My favorite Denzel Washington movie. Hmm. Hmm. Denzel Washington. I'm trying to think of like movies of his that I love. It's a good question. Um, Let me look at his career really quick. Denzel Washington. I know, like I like him as a villain. I can tell you that in Training Day. It's really good. I really dig him as a villain. If you guys if you guys haven't seen it, that SNL guy, um, what's his fucking name? Jay Farrow. If you haven't seen Jay Farrow do a Denzel Washington impression, you are seriously doing yourself a disservice because it's spot. Like you never really notice people's mannerisms until like somebody points them out so clearly. Like the way he laughs and he claps and all that shit's so funny. All right, Book of Eli, Safe House, Unstoppable, Taking of Pelham, 1, 2, 3, American Gangster, Deja Vu, Inside Man, Candidate. Ooh, um, Man on Fire. Man on Fire is the heavy contender at the moment. I really like that movie a whole hell of a lot. Virtuosity, I forgot about that movie. Isn't that like Russell Crowe? He's the villain in that. I remember liking that. Philadelphia is good. Fucking sad. Pelican Reef, Ricochet, Glory. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah, that's what I'm going with, man. Man on Fire. That's a kick-ass movie, man. I love that one with is it Dakota Fanning? Isn't that the little girl in it? Christopher Walken. That's a kick-ass flick. So I'll go with that one. Devil in a Blue Dress. I haven't seen that one. I enjoyed All Hallows Eve and the first Terrifier. Me as well, my friend. Me as well. Right, Joshua. I've been more excited for a horror movie. I've never been more excited for a horror movie. Terrifier 2 is going to be awesome. Let's hope so. Yeah, it's funny now because I know both the director and the guy who plays Art, David, and you know David is very, very, very. If you follow David on Facebook, he's extremely political. I mean, just so much so. He's very angry about it all the time. So I've talked to David a good amount at this point. It's like, it's weird when you know somebody versus like when you when they're just making movies. Uh, but like that happens here and there. Like my friends, like if someone I know makes a movie, I'm always like, I'm not reviewing it. I'm not reviewing it unless I love it. And then I'll be like, all right, I'll view it. I'll review it. So if you make a movie and I know you and I don't review it, it's because I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But reviewing a movie of someone who you know and you don't like it, that's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one. I need to go to bed because alarm clock. I need to go to bed because alarm clock. So good night, you sexy horror man. And my last question is thoughts on Cure 1997. Is that Cube? Like the movie Cube? I reviewed all three of them on the channel, if that's what you mean. I can't imagine anything else. I love it. Blah blah blah. That one scene in the trailer Kong reminded me of Thor wielding Stormbreaker. Yeah, totally. Jason, have you ever seen the movie Very Bad Things with Christian Slater? Yes, I have, my friend. They kill the hooker in Vegas. It's a good film. It's funny. Do you think the Dead Snow movies are worth watching? I haven't pulled the trigger. I think I saw the first one, and then I don't think I saw the second one, so I couldn't. I'm not the authority on that one. I don't remember it. If I don't remember it though, that's not a good sign. Does it make you like it as much? Did I don't know what that meant. I'm sorry. Jason, no, I already said that one. Harrison Ford needs to be casted for Omega Man remake, not Will Smith. Okay. I mean, the Will Smith version's way old by this point. The leading lady in Terrifier 2 is also very political on her social media, but it's whatever. I'm still going to enjoy the movie. Cure is an Asian horror film. Oh. I think I'm familiar with the cover, but I don't think I've seen the movie. Let me look it up. Thoughts on The Faculty? I haven't seen The Faculty in so long. I saw when it came out. What is The Faculty? 97, 96, somewhere in that area. That's like, that reminds me, like, when I think of that, I also always think of Disturbing Behavior along with it. Cure, 1997. A frustrated detective deals with the case of several gruesome murders committed by people who have no recollection of what they've done. 7.4 out of 10. Jesus, 7.4 is fucking high, man. And a 70 Metacritic. Damn, that's really high. And this is what country now? You said it was Asian. Asian, that doesn't tell me much. Japanese. Okay, it's Japanese. If it was South Korean, I'd be on it right now. Cure has a generic resemblance of Seven, but it's far more oblique and that much more troubling. Okay, a modern masterpiece, an interesting, gripping film. Wow, Cure. Okay, I'm on it. That sounds like a good flick. Tom Hanks should play a villain. Tom Hanks playing a villain. I mean, he does in I mean some bit of the movie, not all of it, but he does in Cloud Atlas when he has a scene. I want to say it's only one scene. It's been a while since I saw it in theaters, but he's like this like gangster type dude in like a building. He's really good. He's really good. I can't think of any other villainous Tom Hanks roles, but I would say that's probably that. I think people allow their politics to dictate their opinions on movies more than they should. I don't like Craig Zoller's politics, but I still like his movies. A good movie is a good movie. I agree with that 100%. Watch 10 to Midnight after your review. I liked it, but the ending was a turn for sure. Yeah, I dig it. The ending for me, yeah, I like it. I get what you mean though. Road to Perdition. He's a bad guy, kind of. That's a stretch. I mean, he does bad things, but he's protecting a child. I mean, you don't get much more hero than that. Quentin Tarantino has said Cure is one of his favorite films. Yeah. Okay. I'll definitely check it out. But that sounds good to me. Jason, if you ever get time, you should do a top 10 favorite movie list from each year you were born. Oh my God. Fuck that. Fuck that. I read something on a new Evil Dead movie. Yeah, there's supposed to be an Evil Dead thing coming out. We'll see. Scorsese loves Cure as well. Fantastic. Have you seen The Tortured with Bill Moseley? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. That's another. They see that's yeah. Those when I have a movie that I can't remember very well, I don't have much of an opinion on it. Like, and not just because I don't remember it, just because like if I don't remember it, that's me saying like it's probably whatever to me. You know what I mean? Like if I love a movie, I'm gonna remember it for sure. I mean, I would be very surprised if I loved a movie and then people bring it up and I'm like, I don't remember that one. Or I saw it, but I don't really remember it. That's just not a thing. I would think I would remember it. I would think I would remember it if I liked it. So I'm going to go with I didn't. Well, it looks like we're out of questions and we've been on for an hour. It's about a good enough amount of time before we get on off. So, well, would you rather see an Ash versus Evil Dead season 4 or a Friday the 13th movie? Ash versus Evil Dead season 4. This may sound stupid, but you do watch so many movies constantly. Do you ever feel like sometimes that you don't have anything new to watch or you have run out of new movies? I can definitely say that there's times where I feel like I've run out of new movies that I'm interested in. There's always new movies. There's 1,000 new movies always. But whether or not those look any good to me, and I don't just fucking watch everything. I can't. A and B, there's so many things that just look so bad that I just cannot do. I just can't do it. So yeah, I guess kind of. And every once in a while, I feel a little burnt out. Just you know, but that doesn't last very long. I usually I usually get over that pretty damn quick. Have I seen Pulse from 2001? Yes, I have. I've seen the original Pulse. Or wait, yeah, Pulse. The Asian one, right? And then I've seen all three American Pulses as well. I own all four of those movies. Thoughts on the Gray? Um, going into the Gray, I remember being like really excited that this was going to be some super thrilling movie. And I remember it being more of just kind of a slower burn survival movie, which makes sense. But then, like, you wait for him to fight these wolves the whole movie. And then it comes down to his fight with them in the end and it just like goes to credits and you're like what the fuck, and then you wait through the credits and there's a post credits sequence where it shows like the victor, but it's like, yo homie, I wanted to watch Liam Neeson use his particular set of skills to take out some wolves, so what the fuck. I was trying to get off and then everyone was like, fuck that, Jason, you're not getting off, you're going to answer my questions. By the way, Jason, thank you for your videos. I always put them on late at night before I go to bed and masturbate to them. Thank you, Twin City. I may have added something to that one, maybe not. This or no. I already answered that. Do you like the newest Puppet Master movie? Yeah, I do. I reviewed it on the channel very recently. Same guy. Oh, did you ever play Night Trap? Did I ever play Night Trap? Is that a video game or is that board game? Night Trap. What's that? There's a few of them, but what was that one game where like you put in a VHS tape and then like you had to like adhere to the rules on the VHS tape? That was cool. They did that on a few games. I know Clue had a couple of those, but there was a horror game. I don't know. Jason, what's your favorite Scorsese movie? Probably The Wolf of Wall Street. I find that movie to be just hysterical from beginning to end. I fucking love it. You might not be getting off, but I sure am. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm here for, guys. That's what I'm really here for. I'm here to get you guys off. Kurosawa does a lot of great stuff. Creepy from 2016 is great as well. What would you say is the most controversial horror movie besides Cannibal Holocaust? I mean, Serbian film, of course. Night Trap is a Sega CD game starring Dana Plato. Holy shit, Dana Plato. She was alive long enough. Dana Plato? Really? I thought she died young. I thought she died like, huh. You know what's funny? Every time I think of Data Plato, the instant flash of every single time is when she takes the towel off of her head in the opening credits and her hair's green. It is always, always, always what I think of when I think of her. The August Underground movies are gross. If they are controversial, they definitely should be. They're definitely gross. I watched August Underground's Mortem and Penance. This is back when I was going through my like gross out shock phase, and I was like, I gotta see everything. Now I don't. I have no interest in watching a movie like August Underground. It's just stupid to me. It's a total waste of time. I'm not shocked. I find myself very bored. It's not my thing. So the shock films like the Vomit Dolls movies or like what are other ones that have come out? Guinea pig movies. Those are older now, but they made a few of them since, I think. And I just don't have any interest in those anymore. They do nothing for me. I completely skipped that shit. I just got a movie from the Criterion Collection called Salo or 120 Days of Sodom. Supposed to be very disturbing. Planning on watching it. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it actually a couple times. It's really just a movie that deals with a lot of people dealing with poop, a lot of shit in that movie, a lot of shit. You like get real used to a lot of poop. Like, there's a lot in it. Um, there's like a guy who keeps like running around and showing people his asshole. And then there's some like genital mutilation and stuff like that. It's definitely bizarre. It's definitely a very, very bizarre film. Um, you should definitely do an OnlyFans. Do you play horror games? That's a very interesting segue. You should get naked and jack off on the camera. And also, do you play any horror video games? That's pretty funny. Um, no, I only do I do an OnlyFans with some girls that come on my DMs, slide into my DMs, and you'll get some sinister cinemas. You know what I mean? I like to play horror video games while jerking off. That's talent. That's fucking talent, dude. What kind of like you'd have to be like a point and click kind of thing, right? Like you have to have one free hand. You can't do it with a controller. There's just no way. Um, what movie has the best dick mutilation? Actually, one I watched tonight would be very close, very up there. It'd be very, very up there. Not really sure off the top of my head what would be the contender. Um, there is some dick mutilation in 120 Days, but I watched Porno tonight on Shudder. It's a movie called Porno. I'll be reviewing it tomorrow because I ain't reviewing it on this fucking thing. But it has a dude's testicles have exploded, and they like open up his pants and show his balls exploded and his dick and everything. It's gnarly. It's super gnarly. And then they're trying to put like a tourniquet on it. Wow. It's way wicked. So that it's funny that you brought that up because I watched something tonight. What's the one with the dick in the meat grinder? Dick in the meat grinder. I know that one. What is that one? Oh man, now you're getting me like into trivia. We should have a trivia thing. I want to do that. I want to do that with some people. I want to do that with like, I really want to do that one. I want to do that with Lee McCoy from Drum Dums because I will fucking slaughter him. I will fucking straight up murder him in a trivia game in horror. He wouldn't. I don't even think he'd do it. He'd be like, I would never stand a chance with you, and he'd be right. But I just want to show everyone how much more I know about the genre than him. Hostel does have a good dick chop off in Hostel too. Yeah. The Farm. Have I seen The Farm? That's the vegan horror movie, right? I have not seen that. Who do you think was the better? Who has the better filmography, Will Smith or Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves, easily. Did you know that Will Smith was supposed to be Neo in The Matrix? So there you go. Horror movies in Netflix. I'm assuming you mean on Netflix. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot. Watch The Ritual. It's fantastic. That movie Antichrist had some dick and vagina mutilation. Indeed. Hell yeah, I like that movie Porno. Church movie theater. Yep. That's the one. All right. Did I answer everything? I think I did. Or that's when I thought. Are you getting the Serbian film Blu-ray? No, I'm not. I mean, I've seen it like 3 times now. I don't really honestly have any desire to do it again. And it's not because I'm like, I think it's actually a pretty good movie. But I don't know. I just don't see myself watching it again. And I do have a copy of it, so I don't need an upgraded version. I don't need to see like some kid get ass raped in 4K. It's not my thing. Go to sleep, man. Have a good night. I'm not going to sleep when I get off of here. It's only fucking like 11:30 at night. 11:47. It's my time to shine, baby. Why can't I find your letterbox profile? I don't know. You're retarded. Um, let's see. Go to sleep, man. Oh no, I already talked. I'm also retarded. So there you go. Jason, do you think you could beat Sean Chandler in a game of movie trivia? I don't know who the fuck that is, but sure. Fuck you, Sean Chandler. I don't know who the fuck that is. I mean, it would depend. I think when it comes to just general movie knowledge, I think I definitely would do very well. I would do very well because I do like every genre, and I watch a lot, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. Trivia is tough though because I feel like in trivia when the pressure's on, you blank hard. And it's weird because I'm like really good under the pressure when it's like comes to physical things. Like if I'm in a basketball game or if I'm something, I perform very well. But um, under like mental pressure when like trivia is on the line, especially when it's like obvious trivia, people could be like, "Who directed 1978's Halloween?" And I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like when it's on the line like that, it's very hard to like get it. It's always those like a lot of easy questions. You're like, wait, I fucking know I know this. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? So I just get more angry than anything. Um, but yeah, I mean, it'd be fun, but I would take it really poorly if I lost. I'd take it really poorly if I won too. That's the funny thing. I'm a really sore winner as well. I'll talk shit, mad shit if I win, but then I'll fucking cry like a little bitch if I lose. Um, is your letterbox called Sinister Cinema Reviews? I swear I'm losing my mind. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. My letterboxed right here. I'm opening it up. Yeah, I mean it's under Sinister Cinema. I don't. I mean, it says Jason Smith up here, but everyone else has been able to find it under Sinister Cinema Reviews. Jason Smith is pretty fucking tough. I don't have it linked down below, like in any of. Well, I don't really do that anymore. I don't know, man. It says Jason Smith up here, but I swear I put it as Sinister Cinema Reviews. After I've mentioned it, a lot of people have found it no problem. Multiple choice. Fuck that. Multiple choices for pussies. Have you ever considered writing a Don't Go in the House remake? It doesn't need to be remade, man. It's perfect as is. Yeah, I mean, Stranger, you know what, after this, when I get out of here, I'll find your name and I'll link you to it. And yeah, in the farm, they milk women's tits to sell the milk. It's very strange. You know what's really strange is the fact that we find that really strange. I find that to be really strange. Have you ever noticed how fucking weird it is that we think drinking animals' milk is fucking normal, but drinking human milk is weird? Have you ever thought about how fucking weird that is? Like human breast milk is made for humans, but any adult's like, that's fucking weird, man. That's perverted. That's strange. That's whatever. When animals' milk that's made for animals, we drink that shit day and night, and people are like, totally normal, totally normal. I don't. This is fucking crazy to me. This is such a weird thing that we do as human beings. Have I checked out the movie I Trapped the Devil? Yes, I have. Is Stoker slasher Sunday worthy? No, I wouldn't say so. What are your 5 favorite movies in each genre? That's too hard. Lord of the Rings, you guys know that. Same with buying meat from the store, but not wanting to see people hunting for their food. Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of us are hypocrites on that. Like, if I had to kill an animal to survive, that would be tough, man. That would be really tough. I would not want to kill an animal. I just really wouldn't want to do it. Would I? Probably, but I wouldn't want to do it. I know that's stupid. That's total hypocrisy. Like, I'll eat it from the store, but I won't go out and kill it. It is lame. Anybody who eats meat but is against hunters is lame. There's no doubt about that. I yeah. I mean, if you're okay with factory farming, but you're not okay with guys going out and hunting in the wild, I don't think you've seen enough factory farms. Like, there's just nothing else, dude. Um, but yeah, the milk thing is weird. We're savages. Scariest moment in a non-horror movie. Have you seen Stake Land? I have seen Stake Land, but I never did see the sequel. Scariest moment in a non-horror movie. Hmm. Scariest moment. See, this is what I'm talking about. These are like on the spot questions, and they're very tough. I can always usually like give one example, but not like 100%. It's this one and nothing else. Um, hmm. I mean, like what we were talking about earlier, any movie that's dealing with like a big meteor or asteroid that's coming towards the Earth, and people are just like waiting for it to happen. Ugh, that's just terrifying to me. Thinking about like you're just waiting for this imminent demise, and there's nothing you can do about it, and everyone you know is going to go with you. That's terrifying to me. So any movie that has that in it, but I can't, off the top of my head, think of like a super scary moment. It depends on what you consider horror too. That's a tough one. That's a good question though. Um, do I prefer Alien or Aliens? Aliens. I like the more action packed one, but they're both fantastic, of course. True, but if they donate the meat to people who need it, it's okay. Hunting for food is one thing. Hunting for sport weirds me out. I agree. Yeah. Hunting for sport is super lame, but it is what it is. We need a sinister philosophy channel. You don't want to hear my philosophies, trust me. I just talk out loud. Thoughts on Chris Rock in the new Saw movie? Uh, yeah, I saw an interview recently where they were talking about that. I think it was Darren Lynn Bousman, the director, that was talking about it. And he was saying because Chris Rock is in it, that they're upping the comedy, but that they're going back to a more traditional horror film and they're cutting out a lot of the gore. So more laughs, less gore in a soft sequel. This scares me. This scares me for sure. That was not what I wanted to hear. That is not what I wanted to hear. Now, does that mean it's going to be bad? No. No. It just makes me a little nervous. Because I love the gore in the Saw franchise, very, very much so. I love the gore in 4 through 7. I think the gore in those are fucking phenomenal, over the top. Even in 3, the gore is just so crazy and fun. And that's kind of what I've come to expect from the franchise. So seeing that they're going to cut down on the gore, that's not what I wanted to hear at all. But if it is going to be more like a 7 type movie, does it need it? I mean, some, yes. I mean, if there's none, then we have a problem. If there's some and it's more story driven, and Chris Rock being in it, and Samuel Jackson being in it, of course I'm expecting humor. That's not a surprise to me, but there's not a lot of humor in the Saw franchise. It's not completely void of humor. There's some humor in it, so I'm cautiously optimistic. I haven't disliked one yet, so I hope this is not the first. Um, did you ever review The Hunger? What is that? David Bowie? Is that who that is? David Bowie, the vampire movie? No, I have not seen it. Am I a fan of the BioShock games? I said I was getting off like 30 minutes ago. That's funny. Yes, I love BioShock Infinite. I love the first one as well. The second one I didn't play a lot of for some reason, but I beat BioShock Infinite in like a day. Like I sat there and I played for fucking like 20 hours straight. I was really, really cranking that game out. Such a fantastic game. That's a series that really needs a new entry. It really needs a new entry. Like, why did that franchise completely stop? They haven't made one in like almost 10 years. Like, I think it's been like almost like 9 years, 8, 9 years now. That's way, way, way too long. I've been trying to get off for 30 minutes. Oh, I get it. I get it. You still jerking off? Jesus Christ. You like one of those people that likes to tease yourself? Do you think the third collector film will be good or shit? I love the first one and hate the second. Really? You hate the second? Wow, hate it. That's intense. Not a question, but you should still do the video on anxiety. I agree with you 1,000%. I think about it a lot, so I should definitely do it. Well, if you didn't like the third, or if you didn't like the second one, I don't know if you're gonna like the third one. But yeah, I expect it to be good. Chris Rock was good in the new season of Fargo. I have not seen it. I've only seen the first season of Fargo, which I greatly enjoyed with Martin Freeman. That's a good show for sure, and I'm sure I'll binge the show eventually. I really want to see the Ewan McGregor season where he plays like two characters or whatever. That's cool. I like the show Everybody Hates Chris. I never saw that show. I know what it is though. Yeah, David Bowie was in The Hunger. Okay, cool. No, I haven't seen that movie. I don't remember BioShock 2 at all. 1 and Infinite are great. Oh, that's funny. Maybe I didn't miss much then. Well, if you're going to be up late tonight, there's always Halloween Resurrection. And with that, good night, everybody. Fuck my life. I got a steel book of Hangover at the Dollar Tree the other day. Wow. Yeah, Dollar Tree, man. I'm telling you guys. That's crazy. Edging to sinister cinema is my favorite pastime. Good night. Bye, Jason. See you in future videos. All right. That's going to do it for me. What's your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street? Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Come on. You guys know this. So I will be reviewing Porno tomorrow. And I want to do a new series. You know what I've been really thinking about doing? So maybe a little tease here. Maybe I'll watch the first one tonight. The Scanners movies. I really want to do the Scanners movies. There's 5 of them. There's Scanners 1, 2, 3. The third one's called The Takeover, right? The second one, can't remember. And then there's Scanners Cop 1 and 2. And I have all 5 of them. So I'm really looking forward to those. So I'm going to go watch Scanners right now. The Cronenberg classic. I haven't seen it in 4 fucking ever, but I'd like to do all 5 of them. But anyways, so thanks for joining me. I know the video quality is shit and the mic isn't ideal, but it's what I had to go with tonight. And I'm so glad some of you, 32 of you, Jesus, hung out with me. Mind's Eye is the best Scanners ripoff. I saw that movie. That's cool. But yeah. I don't really remember what I thought about the movie. I remember liking it though. I like the poster. I like the poster a whole lot. All right, man. Everybody, adios.